Okay, so before we even head out on our walks, we want to make sure that we have our dog engaged with us, or else we don't stand a chance once we get outside. So one thing that I really like to do is just a fun orienting game, and it's kind of a combination of the up and down game and ping pong recall. So I'm just waiting for him to give me eye contact. And once your dog has that pretty well mastered, you can kind of start going in like a circle. I think of it like bicycle spokes, kind of sending them in different directions around a wheel. And so just with him doing that right there, as much as he wants to go outside, he was still able to pay attention and engage. So the more you practice these pattern games with your dog, the easier it is for them to handle situations where they're stressed, they're feeling big feelings. When you start doing these things, you've practiced many, many times in your home. Another thing I really like to do before we go out on our walks is just do some reinforcement in the reinforcement zone where I want him to be standing if we're going on a loose lead walk with him at my side. I know, you've been so patient. And we want to use the leash more as a seatbelt than a steering wheel. So we don't want to force them to really do anything. And the leash can really convey a lot of meaning to our dogs. Like if we tighten our leash, it can send a lot of bad energy down the leash that they should be afraid of something. And so we want to make sure that that's loose and that we're just not putting them in environments that they're not quite ready for. And that can be really hard, especially in the city area where people just don't have access to big yards where their dogs can still get exercise. Oops. Yeah, that was my problem. And yeah, or they just don't have access to bigger areas to exercise their dog. So there are some creative thinking that you can do. There's exercises you can do in the home, being able to drive to a location where your dog can succeed if it's a larger park. But if they can't even get eye contact before you leave the house, the rest of the walk isn't going to go very well. So we're just going to kind of go over real quick how we leave the house. I'm waiting for him to kind of give me some eye contact. Hi, buddy. Good job. This way. So once they get to the door, I usually have him sit. Okay, so there's something exciting. And it's going to be easier for him to control his impulses if he's in a sit. Good. And if for any reason your dog gets up during this time, you just shut the door again. Like this. Good boy. Wait. Let's go. Off.